One Piece chapter 1156. Oh, 65. My bad. That's crazy. But I just got done reading it. Okay. I guess Oda is like, since he's done with Yamato, he's giving us a bunch of random cover pages, fan requests. I don't know if they're new or old, whatever, but keep doing it. Anyway, like always, the chapter started up. The last one ended, okay? Rocks crying for his life. Garp and Rodger answering. The only way they know how. They got to put him down. And can I just say, like, this is like Oda's most action-packed chapter, I think. Like, the panels he's using, all of his paneling, it was crazy, okay? This is like, and he just had to reiterate recently that he is not really an action, like this manga is not a battle shonen, like your typical battle shonen. He had to remind people, it's an adventure story. He does action when he does action. It serves the plot, it's necessary. But when he does action, okay? Because this paneling was really nice. And I haven't seen this sort of action paneling from Oda in a long time. Okay, all the way from the punch, like his eyeball popping out of his skull. He got hit so hard. Like that's why they wondered and they questioned, how is he not dead? Like nobody should be surviving this, bro. We're whooping his ass. Like we're whooping his ass. I saw you punch him and his fucking eyeballs are popping out or whatever the hell's going on. Like maybe that's not his eyeball. Okay, no, his eye is that little crescent moon right there. I was exaggerating. But anyway, this shit's crazy. Like the paneling was phenomenal, I feel like. And it's the craziest action paneling I've seen from Oda in a while. And then it's crazy how Oda can like not do action panels forever for the longest stretches of his manga. And when he does them, he's doing it better than people who do action paneling every week, every year. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some of this paneling is better than the battle shonen that are out here. Okay? But we get another Haki sky split. And I remember when I was reading this, I was wondering, like, or I kind of made up a theory, like, what if the first Haki sky split, or whatever you want to call it, the great sky departure, right? What if the first one that we seen, because it seems to always happen when the highest level characters clash, right, in the middle of a fight. So what if the first one we see is back in the day when Joy Boy fought Emu, or Nika versus Emu? What if that was the first sky split? But then I said, okay, what if it's not just the sky? What if the first time powerful Haki clash like this? What if they split the sky, the land, and the sea? So you see the earth split in half, the ocean split in half because it's going past the land. They split the sky in half, and it's just crazy, right? The whole world is getting an earthquake. I don't know. That shit would be crazy to me. But anyway, we see the whole crew. It's the end of the Rocks Pirates, as Golden Lion Shiki says. The Rocks Pirate crew is done. Everybody's leaving the island. Okay, it's not just them leaving the island. We got Rodger's crew leaving the island too. And of course, we get Rodger and Garp panels side by side every time. We got Garp telling his people to set sail. And as soon as everybody gets on the boat, you gotta leave. Rodger's telling his people the same. As soon as the whole crew's on the boat, you gotta leave. I'll be back. They're here, and they're here to stay. They really answered his call, like I said earlier. They're here to fight him. They want to actually free him from this too. Okay? And this is the team up moment that we've all been waiting for. So we get to see the 2v1 that was never said to be, but now it's here. This is the 2v1. Rocks and Garp. I mean, Rodger and Garp versus Rocks, okay? And again, we get into more crazy paneling. I like this shit right here. Like, it's just amazing. I don't know. It's a lot of movement going on. Garp and Rodger flying around the screen. Like, it's like a Bleach fight. It was like a Bleach fight when Bleach was good, okay? And even Garp right here is asking, like, is there any way to break the curse that he's under, right? So they really want to save him outside of even just killing him. So they want to know, like, can we even stop this? but there's no answer because like nobody knows how to do it, right? There's no question about it. But we already knew, and let me talk about this for a second, okay? Because I was saying it earlier, and I said it before, right? People like to question how, you know, in hindsight, Oda has said one thing about a character, and then in the future, it might not connect, or they say that he forgot, and all that sort of shit, right? So when we saw the situation play out between Kaido and Linlin with the devil fruit, when he stole it from her, people immediately said, "Oh, this isn't what Oda said. I thought Big Mom said that she gave it to him, and this and that." I never thought that he, like, that situation meant that, you know, the other one couldn't happen. It wasn't mutually exclusive. I didn't think because he stole it from her doesn't mean that she can't tell him that, you know, that was my devil fruit. I'll let you have that shit, you know, like in the way she's doing now. Like, this is what he's been doing the whole time. My point in saying this is, Oda's one of the few, he's not one of the few, but like, there's a lot of people, like, you know, Toriyama, Kishimoto, they might forget things in their story. Toriyama has a good habit of reading his own story so he can, you know, remember things and actually connect certain dots on purpose. So it's not that he remembers, he actually goes back and looks for it. So I'm not surprised that he has this connecting, or anything that he has in the past, he's going to make it connect, right? But even for things that he never planned, right? He probably didn't plan for Shanks to be connected to God's Knights and all this other stuff. Maybe he did plan for him to be connected to the world government. Maybe that was a plan. Who knows how far he went? But things like God's Knights and like Emu being as powerful as he is, and all these other things, we don't know if he planned it, but he's gonna make it connect. Okay, just like that. So we go back to the fight, but in between that, we see this scene right here where this guy named Polo Graham appears next to Whitebeard, and we all should know who the hell he is. Like, what does he look like? Pineapple head, right? This is Marco's dad. Obviously, this is Marco's dad, or his grandfather, or it's got to be his dad, right? So if his name is Graham Polo, I'm thinking Marco's name is Marco Polo, right? That's the only, it's Polo Marco. Did we never get his last name before? Like, that's crazy. I thought we would have gotten his last name. But his name is Polo Marco, apparently. Marco Polo. So that's another reference to some, not even pirate, but like a man at sea, a legendary figure that was at sea in the past, right? So that's another Oda reference, Marco Polo. There you go. Whitebeard, I don't know what he's planning to do. Like, he's just standing there like Vegeta. The island's blowing up. He doesn't have a boat. He's just standing there looking at the flames. I don't know. Like, I think he's Vegeta or some shit. I don't know what his plan was. He can't swim, can't fly. Like, he's telling this dude, like, leave me alone. I don't want to go with you. How are you going to get off the ship? I mean, off the island, bro. You have no, was he going to rob the Navy ship, or I don't know, become a stowaway? But yeah, Stussy's looking for him too. So I don't know. I guess they never, all the Rock's crew go their own way. Even Stussy doesn't meet Whitebeard. They separate everything, okay? But then we go to Dragon. I like this scene a lot. Now, Dragon, and then, you know, Garp also, I want to mention Garp later, because every time I see Dragon, it reminds me of Garp, right? I've been saying that. And Garp, he got the, he said what I needed him to say. I'll talk about that later. Like, I never needed him to get redemption per se. I didn't think he was like in an unredeemable spot like other people do. I just needed him to say, like, his resolve. I need him to say his reason for staying there all these years. Like, we can gather multiple reasons ourselves, but it's better when he says it, right? But anyway, we got Dragon standing here, and what is he doing? He's taking the whole Navy boat over. They're wondering, like, yo, whoa, Dragon, what are you doing? Chill out, man. He said, nah, fuck that. You're gonna save all these people, and if you deny what I'm saying, I'm killing everybody. I'm executing y'all one by one. Like I'll pilot the ship on my own. Fuck that. I'm saving everybody. Okay. So that's what Dragon's doing. And they say, yo, you're not gonna forget that. I forgot what he said. I cut that panel out. Oh, it's up here. He said, Dragon, this won't be the end of it. He said, yeah, it better not be. So Dragon's gonna make good on that promise. That's why he became a revolutionary. He's gonna stop all of that shit. Okay. This is why he's not the same as Garp. It's understandable. It's understandable. Okay. And we get a line from Saturn. Okay. Not only, first of all, let me mention this. We see Gabon and Rayleigh going back for Garp. Going back for Rodger. I guess they make it. I don't know. They might make it back. What if we see Bogart run on the island for Garp? We don't even see him ever. Like, people put so much hype on Bogart's name, but we never see him do anything. What if he runs to go get Garp? I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. But anyway, we got Saturn saying what we kind of knew would happen now. I know I said before, I like the theory that God Valley is still around and that it's become Thriller Bark or it's some other island that we don't know about or might know about. I always knew it was still a possibility that it was just this. It was that simple because they said the island doesn't exist anymore. Okay, that's when the government says that, we know what it means. We've seen Enos Lobby. We've seen Lelouchia. We know what it means when they say something doesn't exist anymore. That means they wiped it out of history with their own hand, right? So I'm assuming God Valley might become Enos Lobby. I don't know what it's going to become, but it's going to be a hole in the middle of the ocean. And that would also mean if they do use the secret weapon, then the water levels are going to rise around this era. That's what that means. The water levels are going to rise around this era. I don't know what that's going to mean, but we're going to see that shit happen. Okay. I never even thought about the possibility of them using the ancient weapon around this like day and age. I forgot about it. So yeah, the water level might rise as soon as they wipe God Valley off the map. That's something to think about. But like I assumed, the rest of the pillar fell, okay? And we had the narrator talking about how the world government and the Navy wiped all the records of any humans who were participating in the hunt, any records of a hunt ever being there, like who the residents of God Valley were. Like, you know, they got like, all the Marines got hazard pay. Hazard pay for the Naval Base G1 and Cypher Pole number 6, right? I didn't notice Cypher Pole number 6 there. Maybe I'm tripping. I didn't notice they were there. Maybe I forgot, but I didn't notice. I saw the God's Knights there. They got the ass whooped. So we know the God's Knights weren't even a highlight back in this time. I thought they would be more relevant, but they were just part of the Marines. I don't know why they seemed so weak back then. Or maybe the pirates were so strong back then. That's what it was. The pirates were strong back then. It's not that the God's Knights were weak. That's how you gotta look at it. So this is what I was talking about. The question, the answer. Rodger asked him, because he said, yo, did you know y'all had that giant black monster in the Marines? Like, and y'all call yourselves the good guys? He said, no, I didn't know either. It surprised me. But he says, like, if you're going to quit the Navy, join us. He said, don't be stupid. If I quit, who's going to watch out for the rank and file? Now, him saying this, right? Obviously, this is something that we all could have kind of gathered already. This is something everybody's already gathered. We already said Garp stays there for A, B, and C. He stays there because he does what he can, and, you know, he looks out for the little people and all that other sort of shit. But him saying it is way better than us having to put the pieces together ourselves. This puts his resolve in perspective. You know what I'm saying? It's way better. So I like this. I like it a whole lot more with him giving us the solid answer and reason for why all these years he's been in the Navy, especially after we see that he knows they have these deeper, darker secrets. That was the bigger question. Like, okay, he sees that they have demons and shit. Why is he really there now? Like, you know, but him, that's enough for me. Some people might not think that's enough. They might think he can do anything else. I don't know. Whatever. but that's on him. I like what Garp did right there. So right here, boom, we get another answer, a big answer we needed, okay? And it's going to end a lot of arguments because people put a lot of stock into what Kaido said still. Kaido said devil fruits. I mean, he said Haki's king. Kaido said Haki's king. Okay, but listen, what did Rodger say? It all comes down to mass, okay? That's the end all be all. What does he mean by that? He explains it this chapter. He tells you that armament, the power of the armament Haki doesn't yield devil fruits. And he was wreathed in the Supreme King, right? The color of the Supreme King. There's no way they shouldn't have hurt him. He said, yeah, but he's using Supreme King too, so they cancel out. Exactly my point. We have to surpass that to damage him, okay? Now, this is something so simple, and this has already been explained before. I see so many people arguing about how Haki is like just stronger than anything, and if you have Haki, you can just beat any devil fruit. No, you still have to be strong with your Haki, okay? And devil fruit users, what do you know? They have Haki too. So you get to a point where the Haki cancels each other out, and you're still fighting a devil fruit user, okay? You're still fighting a devil fruit user. The Haki cancels out, you're still dealing with the devil fruit, okay? You have to surpass that. And I'm assuming he's not just speaking about the devil fruit and all that stuff, because we don't even know what devil fruit rocks has, first of all, right? But I think he's referring to also the fact that he's not taking any damage, okay? I don't know what power it is that he has. Maybe the power that's making him like this is a devil fruit. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't know that. But they mention how a large mass of Supreme King Haki, the color of the king, is the only thing that's going to hurt him. And I think this is exactly what Gaban is going to be telling Luffy and Zoro. That's the only thing I could think of, because unless there's a different application of Haki or a different way to use it, because when we see Gaban hurt Garling earlier, he didn't mention, oh, I have to use my Haki in a special way. He just chopped him, and Garling got hurt by it, right? He chopped him and he got hurt by it. So I'm assuming that's the same exact answer we're going to get when we get back out of the flashback. And Gaban is talking to Zoro and Luffy, and he tells them how to hurt Imu and the God's Knights. He's going to tell them the same thing. It's about mass, critical mass of Supreme King Haki. So that's also saying if you don't have Supreme King Haki, there's a certain level you just can't reach. So that's also a reason why Haki is not always just the end all be all. It's more specific than that, okay? If you got Supreme King Haki, yeah, you have the potential to be stronger than anybody. If your Haki is stronger than a devil fruit user's Haki, then you're gonna win, because the devil fruit doesn't matter anymore. You're fighting somebody just weaker than you at that point, right? So the opposite is true. If you don't even have Supreme King Haki, you're not reaching any of those levels, okay? So you might just stop at a certain cap. I don't know, unless they say like, hey, you have so much Haki it matches up to Supreme King. Maybe that's the thing. We don't know. We got to figure that out. Maybe you can have enough Haki in general. It imitates a critical mass of Supreme King Haki, right? We're gonna figure that little minutia out later. But we get them talking about how this is like the final blow. They're gonna throw their life away for this, basically. They know that this is the final shot they have, and by doing this, they can't think about what's gonna happen to them after, okay? Garp even said, like, I don't know what to say to console you. I don't know what happened, but I feel your pain. I see you sad, because he's making an ugly crying face now. And what do we get? The final panel, the biggest, I think, attack we've seen in One Piece ever, okay? Now, Garp hit he hit a Gummel Gummel no move, okay? This is where Luffy's getting his techniques from, damn near. Like, he hit a goddamn Gatlin. He had an infinite Gatlin, but he called it I don't even know what the hell they call it. The Infinitium. I don't know, maybe I'm reading that stupid, but he hit the infinite explosion of punches, and he hit the flame fire god ace, and it's a crazy attack. They cut him in half and punched holes through his body. with this like Supreme King color Haki move, duo combo that like should have split the sky in half and blew the rest of the island up. So like I don't know, maybe the island's gonna blow up next chapter. I don't know. Maybe Gabon and Rayleigh get flung back to the boat. They can't even make it over here. I don't know, but that's why I found out why the chapter was called Reverberations, because of rocks in this era. They're talking about how they shook the world. Okay. And this is also saying how I guess this moment in history changes the course of the future a lot, in a lot of ways. Because now people like Whitebeard has that mindset that he has about, I guess, the younger generation now. Like that I guess that became his goal. Like, yo, I guess everybody kind of had a different mindset after this day. They actually have goals now. Like Rocks seemed like the only person in this era with a solid goal, and his mind was made up on something that mattered, and it was a bigger picture more than just himself and being a pirate, getting treasure. He was trying to take down the world. Everybody else, it seems like after this, their dreams kind of expanded. You know, I'm gonna build an army. You know, Whitebeard and Big Mom building families and shit, and they building their own crew, and like they know this bigger picture now about. You know, Whitebeard was talking about becoming the king of the pirates. Like they got this bigger picture going on now. Like there's a lot of stuff going on. They know things they shouldn't know. Garp knows things, right? And I also wonder, we got a couple of answers about other things. They said the world government tried to erase this from history, but why is Garp? They know he's a D. I need to know why Emu lets him stay there, especially after he saw Garp was there and Garp attacked him and he doesn't care. Why does he let him stay there? I wonder if Garp knows Emu. Did Emu let Garp come to his office personally and say, listen, bro, I know you saw me that day. You're not going to say anything. Stay in the army and I won't kill you. You know, I don't know. Like maybe he threatened him. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't care. Anyway, that's the end of the video. If I think anything else to add to it, I'll put it in the comments. And I'm out.